Welcome everyone. This is our April pre-camp webinar. Next slide. All right. We'll have to there's some technical difficulties going on. Our camp director, Rick Kimmel, is having some difficulties right now. Andrew is trying to get him on. I am Ken McCaffrey, the assistant camp director. Corey Groth is actually, the last I saw, somewhere in Manistee doing some hiking today. And we also have Kyle Lachana as our commissioner on. All right, for tonight's agenda, we will be talking about the payment schedule and our final payment coming up here soon. The DHHS registry clearance process and the form, our food service, some program area highlights, are still what we have for our staffing needs. We'll have a little bit of information about how to best start planning for camp now, and then we will go into a question and answer slide. So a little bit of webinar housekeeping. Tonight, all attendees are in listen mode, so if you have any questions, please use the chat feature, and one of the panelists or myself will get to you as soon as we can, or we'll answer them all at the end. This webinar is being recorded, so you'll be able to go back to it on the MCC website, which we will post that address here in a little while for you to go back and check on anything you may have missed or forgotten. And then we will also be posting just the slide deck also, so you'll be able to just go back and look at the slides if you need to. So at Camp Rotary and all MCC camps, we have a legendary camp service commitment to you. That commitment is we, the camp staff, are dedicated to providing our customers and guests a legendary scout camp experience. While participating in our life-changing year-round camp programs, we are committed to providing facilities, programs, services, and camp leadership that will consistently exceed the expectations of our customers and guests. Our Michigan Scout camps will be safe havens for experiencing the best of the adventures and the values of the Boy Scouts of America. Our planning focus is we will strive to plan an innovative program that meets the need of all Scouts and one that will be provided by qualified and talented staff. We will work diligently to plan and implement a high-quality food service program. We will continue to upgrade and refresh all of our facilities, and we will engage you, our leaders, in our process and implementation. So next is actually getting into the nuts and bolts right now is going to be our camp payment schedule. Coming up May 1st is our final payment that is due. So with that, you can log into your registration. The link there is on the screen there. You'll need your email that you registered with and your registration number to get into your registration. So you can pay by e-check, which you'll need your routing and account number. You can pay by credit card, but there is a 2.75% convenience fee on every transaction, and no matter what that is, will not be refundable. So payment information. For all existing reservations, if you've been paying all the way and every scheduled time, you should be having a $125 payment, which is now due for each youth participant. The camp fee for new registrations at this time will be equal to $225 per slot and $50 per adult participant slot. If you happen to miss your third payment that was due back in April 1st, You will have to have a $225 payment due on May 1st for all youth participants, and $160 will be due May 1st for all adult participants that missed their first payment. So the final payment being due will be $125 youth and $110 for all full-time adults. For part-time adults will be $33, and again, that's due May 1st. After May 1st, a $50 late fee will be assessed to all youth not paid in full. Late fees do not apply to new scouts or Arrow of the Light crossovers. Okay, camp scholarships. To be eligible for the following guidelines must be met by the youth applicant. Be registered within the Michigan Crossroads Council and be attending one of the MCC summer camps. A separate application must be submitted for each scout requesting assistance. So if you're a family with 2 or 3 scouts, you have to fill out 2 or 3 applications. Assistance will be considered on a need and on the youth unit support of the mission of the Michigan Crossroads Council, including participation in the popcorn sale. Applications are available and we turned in since January 1st all the way up to May 30th. The first round of awards will be reviewed after April 1st, and that was the preferred submit by date. Families will be notified by a member of the Volunteer Scholarship Association Committee. So us at camp cannot really tell you or not. If you're getting a scholarship, that committee will contact you. So families may only apply for one type of assistance. So either a camp scholarship or a sibling discount. So if you have multiple scouts from the same family going to camp this summer, and they're applying for a scholarship, they can only receive the scholarship. They won't be able to get that sibling discount also. And right at the bottom there is where you can get the information for the application to get your scholarships. All right, up next is the DHS clearance. Now, this is new for this year. Per the state of Michigan, Licensing and Regulatory Affairs, also known as LARA, all persons over the age of 21 that are staying overnight or just visiting that are attending any of our resident camps are required to submit a new DHS clearance request annually. These persons are required to provide camp with an updated clearance letter dated 2022 upon their arrival at camp. Again, there's the link for the page to fill out that form. The easiest way is to fill it out and email it to the state of Michigan. Right now, I think my son just did his. It came back in about 2 weeks. But as summer camp is getting much closer to that time, they are going to really start getting piled down with a lot of these applications. So the sooner you get it in, the better off you be. So even if you're coming to week 6 at Camp Rotary, I start making sure you get all your adult leaders and everybody over 21 getting those applications in now. That way there will not be any issues come time for camp. All right, up next is food service. So Camp Rotary Food Service, special dietary needs. The Michigan Crossroads Council defines a special dietary need as one of the following: a known food allergy, a diet based on a pre-existing medical condition, or a diet based on religious principles. So campers who require special diets should note so on their registration. In order to make your final payment for camp, you will need to list any dietary restrictions in each camper's registration. And that goes with pretty much with all the missing information. I know I've been in the system. There's a lot of people that I still have some information missing. This is one of those areas. You can see right in that box, the white box there. That is what you'll see on that participants page. And that is where you put in any restrictions. Once that is done, we will print that out for our food service director. If you have anything extra you want to add, the best thing to do is give camp a call about 2 weeks before you're scheduled to be there and ask to talk to Amanda, which is going to be our food service director again this year. She is very good at making sure that everybody gets a full, well-rounded meal and everybody leaves the dining hall full. So if the camper has no dietary restrictions, just type none in the box and that will help clear that requirement so you'll be able to move on and have all that information added there. If the camper does have dietary restrictions, type them here in that box, and those include food allergies such as eggs, milk, soy, bananas. Diets based on medical conditions are usually, gluten-free, vegetarian, or diets based on religious principles, kosher, halal, and etc. Okay, now up for the part that I know the best about is the program. So a couple of program highlights for this month. First one being our Scoutcraft area. It offers instructions and skills that are vital to the outdoor scouting program. This is a hands-on, interactive, and challenging area. One of the best things I like going through camp is going around Scoutcraft area and seeing all the scouts out there tying lashings, starting fires, working with compasses. It's a great thing to watch them do. They said they do merit badges such as cooking, pioneering, orienteering, wilderness survival. Big thing for scouts and adults is to join our 50-knot club. That's a very difficult thing. Very few people know how to tie all 50 knots. It's a great time to actually go through this and practice on those knots and learn them all. This area will help them appreciate and understand out of doors by making the best of their own abilities and their natural surroundings. This year, to go along with our theme especially, you can join them down there as they challenge you with the Mighty Lumberjack competition, where all campers will compete to see who is the best lumberjack team in camp. We will have scouts and adult teams. Okay, up next is MAID. This is not your traditional camping experience. This is where scouts will have the opportunity to explore the worlds of theater, electronics, movie making, robotics. MAID also hosts citizenship and communication merit badges. The other events to check out are we have a Artemis. It's a spaceship bridge simulator. Groups of 5 scouts will actually sit in front of computers and act as if they're running a bridge of a spaceship. We have Super Smash Brothers on the Nintendo Wii up there one night. They have the Magic Gathering card game night. And of course, the famous MAID movie night at the Rotary Cinema, also known as Trading Post. All right, at this moment, I'm going to hand it over to Kyle, where he can talk a minute about our staffing needs.
So as everyone can see, we still have some needs for this summer, including a director position and a few 18+ positions, including cook and maintenance staff. This is a great opportunity, personally speaking from personal experience, for some entry-level job experience, so maybe some first job opportunities for some people you know. It can also serve just to strengthen your current work experience to be able to work in a different fashion, or maybe something that's a little bit higher up than what is available to you in the minimum wage job space for those high school and college students. It does work throughout the entire summer, so you'd be needed June to the beginning of August. The minimum age requirement for every job that does not have the 18 plus next to it is 16. And the application, I'm gonna put the link in the chat here. This is for everybody. That's the Camp Staff app. You need to specify that you'd like to work at Camp Rotary. That's on one of the drop downs, and that you'd like to be a staff member, because there's also volunteer and CIT in that same application. Though I hear we may be getting a separate CIT application very soon. Counselor in training is another need. That is a 2-week or 1-week offer where you work as a volunteer. It's the equivalent of like an internship for a camp, and you get to test out different areas, see if you'd like to work there. But both of these options are really good for both scouters and non-scouters to get some work experience, have a great opportunity for the summer to make some money, make some friends, make some long-lasting memories. So go ahead and direct anyone you know that might be interested to this to the link here. It's michiganscouting.org/campstaff app. Just make sure you specify the camp you'd like to work at and the type of employment you're looking for.
All right, thanks, Kyle. All right, up next is planning for camp. This is just a few things to help you, hopefully help you get, all your scouts and adult leaders that are coming to camp and getting all their information in to you. So starting April 1st, this month, all the way up to May, you should be starting to get on those participants and getting their health forms and their camper release forms. That camper release form is specific to Camp Rotary. Our health office and main office are not in the same building, so we need to have a form of who we can release scouts to in both places. And note, originals will not be returned, so we are more than happy to take copies of your health form so you can keep the original with you. Make sure you bring those copies to you with camp, because we are required to keep those, and they get stored away, and we ever need them again, we have to go digging for them. This is a good time to be collecting that last payment that we talked about earlier, which, remember, is $125 per youth, and that will bring their total up to $350. And that last $110 for each adult, which will bring their total up to $160. Collect any daily fees from your part-time scouts, which is $33 a day. And don't forget to make your final payment on May 1st. All right, up next, from May 1st to June 1st, start getting any of your drivers and other transportation needs you're needing to do, getting those confirmed. Where you're going to be picked up, everybody's going to get picked up or dropped off from what time. Make sure your drivers know who they're carrying and who they're bringing up to camp with them. For all your adults attending camp, make sure you get this time to collect their youth protection training certificates. You need your proof of membership. Either the adult leaders need to have an ID card with their BSA membership, or if you have a copy of your re-charter paperwork that has all the names on them. And make sure they all have their DHS clearance letters. Like I said, those letters must be dated the year 2022. They have to be redone every year, so that those letters have to have the year 2022 on them. And we need all that stuff for any adult that will be attending camp, either part-time or full-time. And then this is a good time to, if you're an auto council unit, secure a copy of your council's accident insurance form. All right, so just 2 weeks prior to camp, the SPL and Scribe should be completing a roster sheet. Confirm final transportation arrangements. Make sure you have everybody set up for that. Inventory all equipment that you need. We do have our quartermaster building, which has a limited supply of things if you do forget. But if you can make sure your scouts have everything in your trailer ready to go, better off you'll be. Set up and inspect your tents. I know I've been there myself where scouts have showed up and I don't have a rain fly. So make sure all the parts and all the tents are up in good working order. Make sure all required paperwork is organized and ready for transport. The best thing for the paperwork is to have those organized by the type of paperwork. So have all your DHS forms together, have all your health forms together. Don't organize them by person because it just takes a lot of time to separate all those into the way we need to receive them at camp. 2 weeks prior to your coming to camp that's the time to call the camp and ask to speak to Amanda. So if you have any dietary needs, you can get those few items ironed out. And also make sure that your scouts have done all their prerequisites. There is a special prerequisites slip that is on our registration page that we require you to use. Basically, it's just saying that, you know, the scout has done these prerequisites and that you're attesting that they have done them. All right. Hey, Rick finally made it.
Hey, better late than never, man. All right, goodbye.
All right. So, upcoming webinars. We only have one webinar left. That will be May 18th at 7 o'clock. And then now, if you have any questions, we are here to answer them for you. So going up through the chat, one of the first ones is, what is the camp director's name? I'll let Rick introduce himself real quick.
Camp director is Rick Kimmel. How y'all doing tonight? Sorry I'm late. Little technical problems, but we finally got something figured out on like the third computer. So that is the camp director's name. What else, Ken?
Okay. There's a question, is there a time slot for the swimming test on June 10th? Does my scout need an appointment to attempt a swim test? Yes, you can sign up for those on the registration page for pre-camp swim checks. I'm not sure if they have that live yet. But yeah, there will be a registration on the events page for that. All right, some people are saying they've gotten their DHS letters back in only a few days. Like I said, do it now before it gets busy. Once everybody decides, oh, we need to get this done, they have only one person basically working on these. So it'll start taking time when they have to start doing hundreds of these. So make sure you get those done sooner than later. Yeah, see, here's somebody hasn't gotten theirs back 3 weeks ago. Someone getting them back in a couple days. What about airborne peanut allergies? In our dining hall is a nut-free area, period. So there should be, in our dining hall, there will be no issues of that. Our trading post does sell candy that does have some nut products in that. So that may be an area you may need to watch out for. Does the part-time adults need to pay up front? That would be the very preferred method, because once you get to camp, we may not have room for you anymore. We have a couple of weeks that we are overbooked at this point, and there is no more room to add people. So if you are not already registered and you come to camp thinking that you're going to be able to stay and you haven't paid until then, we will have to send you away. We have a strict limit from the state of how many people we can have in camp. And once that limit is reached, that is it. So if you're planning to even come as a part-time, you're better off to register and pay now. Okay, when are the forms due? Like Andrew said, when you will be receiving a call from camp about a week before you come. They will be giving you a check-in time. We are still going to go with our time check-ins, which will go in a little more detail next month in our webinar. And during that check-in process is when you will turn in all your paperwork. Scrolling down. Okay, big one. Yes, we do need the YPT certifications at check-in. That is part of the check-in paperwork that we have to make sure we have. So for tetanus shots, I'm going to have to probably go to Andrew for that one. Is there a way to get around the tetanus shot or any other immunizations?
Yeah, the BSA is in the process of updating their verbiage on the health forms, but there is a immunization exemption form that you can fill out and attach to your health form. And I did put that link in the chat. I can put it in there again, no problem.
Okay, thank you, Andrew.
No problem.
Okay, can swims tests be done in a pool locally? All swim tests, if you are going to conduct one outside of camp before you come, you must contact Greg Zidane. He has a list of authorized instructors for that. So you have to get approval from him before you can do any swim tests outside of camp. And if that, we can probably get his email put on there, onto the chat for there.
Actually, Ken, there's a link that they'll have to fill out in order to do that. I provided that above. I'll put that in the chat for everyone as well.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
And the only thing I will say, if you are doing it in a pool, for a lot of scouts, swimming in a pool to swimming in a lake is a totally different experience. And if there seems to be any issues, our aquatics director does reserve the right to pull anybody's swim checks. And those are usually the ones where we have the problems are when they've done them in a pool instead of a lake. Yep, we've covered this in past webinars. We do have some adult trainings. Those are things you can sign up in the registration also. We have swimming and water rescue, paddle on safely, climb on safely, and then we also have some computers set up. So if you need to do you'll be able to do some online trainings. We also, if you shadow our PATH program, you will also be able to do your IOLS training in that method. Some more about swim test. So who do we need to contact if we need to edit the number of participants we have coming to camp? The best person is me. I'm sure, yep, Andrew has my email address there in the chat. You can feel free to email me at any time and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Right now, I'm usually averaging getting all that done within the 24-hour time period. So. Can prerequisites be checked off by any leader as the scout has completed them? Yes. Those aren't necessarily you're saying that they know that skill. That is just any leader saying that yes, they've worked with them and they've kind of, they've managed to do that prerequisite that we're requiring. So any leader in your troop can do those. So what about forms for part-times? The best thing is to bring those with you during your full check-in. That way they are already at camp and they're already on file. So when your leader shows up for camp, say Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, those forms are already there and we already have everything set for them. Okay, is the roster that is required for check-in the one found on the reports tab of the camp registration page? I believe that's, on the registration page, yes. The MCC has a specific. Go ahead, Andrew.
Yeah, no, I think what he's asking there, Ken, is on their report tab, they can print a roster from Black Pug. And the answer is no, they have to fill out the MCC roster form so that we can verify that those that they say are coming to camp are actually what is in the Black Pug system. So they'll need to use that MCC summer camp roster form. And I'll try and locate that link here and drop it in the chat.
Thanks, Andrew. Are participants required to show COVID-19 vaccination as part of an immunization? Not at this time. As far as I know, the health form is not going to be updated to require that as of yet. Who knows?
That's correct. That's part of the language that they're working on. The other thing is the Licensing and Regulatory Affairs Office of the state of Michigan is not requiring COVID vaccinations. However, they are strongly encouraging them. And if you are not vaccinated, they are strongly encouraging the use of masks on the property.
Another question is, if some of the scouts do the swim test outside of the camp, does the whole troop still have to attend the swim test at camp? Yes, because that is part of the check-in procedure that we have. So if you're only part of your troop, your whole troop has to go to the aquatics area for the swim test, but it will move much quicker, being the fact that you only may have a few scouts that have to do it. Actually go through the swim test. If all scouts in your troop have done their swim test, you'll be able to, after your dining hall check-in at that point, be able to go back to camp and start getting set up though. Okay, that is given our minute. If anybody else has any other questions, now would be the time to get those into the chat. And while we're waiting, if Rick has anything he wants to add to this.
Well, from what I could hear while I was on the phone with Andrew as he was trying to fix computer problems, I want to first thank Ken and Kyle, and Ken especially, for taking over and doing my parts tonight. It's not the way I wanted to start my meeting sessions tonight in the first place. I was a little bit flustered, and I think Andrew probably got a little flustered too, trying to get things straightened out. But we appreciate everybody being on the webinar so that you can get the most up-to-date information from us, and so you're ready to come to summer camp. Again, these things are important to be on, and if you can't be on them, well, you can watch them in the recorded sessions, but they are most important and big help when it comes to coming to summer camp.
All right, I don't see any more questions coming through the chat. So at this time, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us tonight. If you have any questions, please reach out to us. Like I said, the best way is by email. I'm sure we can get, I know my email's in there multiple places. I'm sure we can get Rick's in there also. So thank you. Have a good night.